The thing that some of the issues I've seen people have with it, as far as the trailer, and it's just a trailer, so I mean you can't really tell much.
Yeah.
They're like, it doesn't look that much different, but Nintendo really has never been about high graphical fidelity and stuff like that. It's about the gameplay, it's about the mechanics they put in
Yeah.
it, and we couldn't really see much of that from the trailer. So I think anybody who has any, shortcomings about how it looks, I think they should give it a chance.
Which
Unless it can't go above like, what does the Switch have a hard cap at like 30 FPS, or can it go above?
no, I'm pretty sure there's games that like I mean Mario Wonder, I would imagine 60 FPS,
Because
but
Tears of the Kingdom, it was like,
yeah, like 15 FPS. Yeah.
So that's the only part that
Okay, I would imagine Prime 4 gets released as a
launch
Switch
title.
2 launch title, but also probably shoehorned onto the Switch 1 in a really
Just
bad
like they
way.
did with Breath of the Wild for Wii U into the Switch.
Yeah, yeah. So I would hope that we're able to get Metroid Prime 4 on a console that's playable. I feel like they're actually going to go the route of, like how PS5 games are kind of like there's not like a big, like they didn't make a big separation. Like kind of like with Xbox too. They like I think Xbox for some games started just labeling it as like Xbox because you could play it on like the One or the Series. They would work on both, but you would get better performance and graphics and everything on the Series. I feel like Switch may go that direction actually.
You think so?
Where they just start kind of labeling games as Switch games. You can play it on the Switch 1 or you can play it on the Switch 2. And you're just going to get like the next gen version of it on the Switch 2. I would hope they do something like that with Metroid Prime 4. I hope they don't ruin it by keeping it on Switch 1.
I don't think they will. I think they will try to
Or
hopefully use
handicap
it.
it, I guess. Not ruin it, but just handicap it.
The only bad part of that is like it has to be a balancing act if they try to put it on both, because obviously they could do a lot more if the Switch 2 has better processing power and all that. They could do a lot more as far as like entities on the that are being loaded in at the same time and all that.
You could ultimately make a better game theoretically.
Yeah, if you depend on that. So I hope it doesn't. But again, Nintendo's been pretty good at adapting their games for what's it called, system limitations.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't have like actual issues, like I mean, like the Pokemon games on Switch actually run like crap. I'm not really a big like graphic fidelity person or anything. I don't
Again,
mind.
where's Madison at?
Yeah, I don't mind 30 FPS or anything like that, but as long as it just doesn't run like garbage, I'm fine. But yeah, I'm interested to see where they're gonna take it. I hope it just doesn't feel like just a quick cash grab rehash of Prime 3. I would hope that they.
It can't be.
I don't think it is. Yeah, because they really haven't. They've taken their time with it, and I mean I've heard that they've like because Retro Studios made the first 3 games. I think they started working on a 4th one. They couldn't really get anything like any good ideas out, so they started working on the Donkey Kong games, and I think they bounced between like working on Prime 4 like internally. Some other company, Retro Studios, they've like went back to the drawing board like 10 times. So I would assume that like
It's not a bad thing either.
yeah, it's not a bad thing. 'Cause, I mean, I know they did that with Breath of the Wild as well. Like I remember the Zelda trailer when the Wii U came out was like very different than what Breath of the Wild was. What it ended up being, especially when even when we got that very first like Breath of the Wild. It's not even a trailer. It was like what's the guy's name?
Who?
The Zelda director.
Is it?
But whenever they had that kind of like they were like sitting up there kind of like explaining what they were trying to go for, going back to the roots of Zelda, and then they like showed it for the first time. Even then it like changed so much, I feel like, from like what we ended up getting. So like I feel like the Metroid Aonuma, yeah,
There you go.
okay. I feel like Prime 4 is going to change a lot from like just this trailer. I think this trailer was like, hey, we are working on it, and we have something we can show. But I feel like they're gonna really surprise us once the actual first trailer comes out and like shows like what's unique about this game. I think it'll.
Yeah, because it was literally just a gameplay trailer, really, and they didn't show any mechanics that would wow anybody. I think, like you said, it's just a reminder
Yeah.
of what it's going to be. And like we said, Metroid Prime 1 was a banger. And then Prime 2 and 3, they were
They're consistent.
okay.
Yeah, they're consistent. You know.
I mean, they're not bad.
Yeah.
They're not the best. But I think with all the time they're putting to Prime 4, Prime 4 could be the best. I think Prime 3 was actually like one of those flagship titles as well for the Wii, wasn't it?
It was like a.
It wasn't that
I don't think it
long.
was a launch title. It may have been, but it was like an early release. Yeah, it was an early one.
Because, they wanted to, capture onto the Wii's capabilities with motion controls and
Yeah.
all that.
Because then, like, they had the Prime trilogy a few years later that had 1, 2, and 3 on the Wii. So